I'm on California 58 eastbound. I'm just 10 minutes from Tehachapi, which is very close to Mojave after you come down out of the mountains along this route. But for now, I want to go for a quick exploration here in the wilderness. Now, the one thing I really don't want to do here is overexert myself or injure myself. And I just ordered a pair of used running shoes, but they're a running shoe that I bought like 10 years ago, brand new. And it was called Mizuno Wave. Really, really loved them. Then I kind of fell for the zero drop propaganda. And I'm not saying that there's nothing to the idea of zero drop or that there isn't an appropriate usage of it, but I think that there was also some irresponsible propaganda around it, making it sound like you just buy these shoes. You don't need to think any more beyond that. And long story short, I ended up with a heel injury in my left heel. It wasn't just the shoes, it was sprinting in them for a fairly long distance when I just wasn't prepared to do that. So I think I gave up those Mizunos too soon. I just went back on actually on Zappos.com, and I was gonna purchase some brand new shoes. I did a little bit of quick research. I kind of came up with two I was interested in: the Brooks Cascadia and Innovate Trail Talon. So I was kind of looking at those two options, and then just on a whim, I searched Zappos in my email history to see if that old purchase would come up. And for some reason, it wasn't even, I didn't even purchase it through Zappos, but I purchased it through, I think, like 6 p.m. was the name of the website apparently. But maybe it linked to Zappos, I don't know, because it still came up, which is amazing because sometimes I can't even view messages from a month ago in my email app because they'll say not downloaded from server or something like that. But it pulled up the full message from 10 years ago about these shoes. And then I just did a quick Google search, and believe it or not, the exact shoes came up, used. Couldn't see what size they were until I clicked on it. It was on Posh, or is it just called Posh? Something like that. Clicked on it, and they were size 8, my size. So, and I already know I like those shoes. I already know they fit great. Like, I loved those shoes. I should not have returned them and purchased zero drop shoes. Like, it wasn't a decision. It was a decision based on like, what do you call it, an idealistic thought process rather than the reality of, I have these shoes, I really like them, maybe I should just stick with them for a while. So anyways, I think I made the wrong call back then, but sometimes life gives you a second chance at something, and maybe it's, they're not brand new, it's a little more worn out, and so am I 10 years later, but I'm gonna go ahead and purchase those. So I want to explore, those will arrive to me when I'm back in Michigan. And I'm in California right now. I want to explore this really cool spot in California, but I'm not gonna really do any running here because I don't want to repeat the mistake that I made 10 years ago of doing too much with the wrong gear. I'm just wearing these like really old, kind of beat up, nice running shoes. They're Brooks. They don't fit me quite right. Kind of the material's blowing out. So I knew that if I want to be serious about doing some running, I need to purchase some actual decent shoes, which I've just done. I don't want to get overly excited, do too much in advance of getting in them, and cause or worsen an injury. So I'm just going to explore here for a little bit, enjoy the day, which is a huge part of this channel. Why, what the actual concept of the channel is. It's not about being the best runner. I always want to be the best at everything I do, so I'm not going to say it's not in the back of my mind a desire, but it's about more than that, discovering the joy in the process of getting better at something, and experiencing cool stuff along the journey. So that's where I'm at right now, and let me turn the camera around on the cool stuff that's right here. One minute you're saying, I'm just gonna be really careful and make sure I don't get hurt. The next minute you're holding a phone in one hand and climbing around on some slightly steep rocks and whatnot. But I am going to play it safe for a second here. This is really cool spot. I'm gonna climb up there for sure, but to get over this ledge with these shoes, they don't have a whole lot of grip and kind of slick and steep. So sleep. I'm not gonna mess around with this any more than I have. I'm gonna put the phone down to get up over this edge, and then I think I should be good to record a little bit more once I'm up there. So there's where I just was, and in the spirit of playing it safe, even without the phone, I went ahead. There's always, a dramatic way to get up to at any given point, and then there's usually a less dramatic but safer way, and I'm going to take that option because there's just no need or reason really to go the difficult, dramatic way here. We'll still get up onto these rocks. Even here it's a bit slippery, slick, steep. Grass is kind of wet. There's water on my shoes from the snow down there that I was just in. So it's still plenty intense. And to be honest, since I'm not even in an official hiking spot, and this is just a side quest today, not the main deal, I'm probably gonna head back now. I might check one more side quest off the checklist by crossing this creek. That's always fun. Do a little easy rock hopping, and that'll be it for this one. That rock, you know, you look at something like a rock and you assume it's pretty stable, but as soon as I put weight on this thing, it started to move. And I wasn't putting my whole weight on, just a little bit of bracing myself. So you can never be too careful. You can never assume that anything is as stable as it looks. Out in the wilderness. A cool line, rock line right here. Interesting geographic feature. This could be a good spot to cross, but I'm guessing that one is deceptively slippery because, I mean, it's pretty smooth rock. It's got water running over it. I'd have to approach it from an angle with a big step. I don't know if I want to do that spot. A big enough step that, you know, the worst thing that probably happens is I get wet, but I don't want that to happen. Call me old, I guess. There's definitely a point in my life where I would have just gladly gone for that. And here's this will be an easy spot to cross, but I'll have to figure out how to get back because the downhill top is easier. I'm on a rock that's a lot higher. But let's check this out. Now that's a little bit of a longer leap. Yeah, it was actually a little bit intense. Let's see if there's an easier reverse crossing. This looks like a fun little meander. definitely, not feeling as confident as I have in the past. Lack of practice recently. And then sometimes you're not planning on running, but once you get out and get moving, it just feels right to do a little bit of running.